Man, those men from the village made the worst decision they could have made. Left the fucking women and children bare and naked, left to their own defenses. What's up? It's your boy Cintron. Come back at you with another reaction video. And I kid you not, that's my real name. We're gonna do some analysis as well, man. This episode was just, heartrending. It tugged on your heartstrings and just really made you feel. You already felt for Arnade. Now you doubly feel for her. Yeah. Just a horrible position and situation that she was put in. But before we get to that, we started right where we left off last episode with your boy Gardar rolling up on Arnade, having a discussion. He asking her about Hjalti, And you're like, man, the little ain't there, bro. The little boy ain't there. She's like, Hjalti, she's trying to tell him that, trying to break the news to him, but, before he can finish that, he got two dudes chasing him. He just, forgetting where he's at. And it's Snake! Excuse me. But he's coming in to battle this cat. And yeah, you're like, damn, what chance though? Because this dude looking kind of awfully strong. He, finished off Lizard. Of course, here, Lizard. Wasn't the strongest, but, he was formidable because that gang, in and of itself, gang. They're made of mercenaries, and them boys, they don't play around. Even the weakest of them is, like, on par with, one of the soldiers' kings. Got good training, they're cutthroat, ruthless, and they're Norsemen. So, but yeah, he square up, get that one-on-one with him, and then, even before that, Einar's having a discussion. He's like, man, he wants to help out Arnade. He's like, listen to the situation. That's got to be her husband, and he's in love with her, but he wants the best for her. But that ain't what's best for you. You jump in that fray, he raised the axe, without carelessly, without thinking it through. Thorfinn's telling him, bro, you gonna regret this. You gonna live to regret this. So he's telling him to let it go, man. Just live to fight another day. Definitely don't fight for this. Not that she's, but it is what it is. But yeah, don't throw your life away for this chick, man. And he's thinking about helping Gardar, but Snake assesses him, and he's like, his boys are telling him, Fox is telling him, Star Fox, tell him don't take the man on. It's gonna be impossible for even you to take him alive. But he said, nah, I got this, I'm good. And that shit was anticlimactic as fuck, cause he took that nigga down with ease. He ain't even cut him. He just hit him with like the hilt of his sword or some shit like that in the stomach, and then plop. You know what I'm saying? Anime character that on the neck. He was just done out. And I'm like, damn, he went down that easy? That just shows you the strength of this dude named Snake. I mean, he's a leader for a fucking reason. And, he's like, the whole time before that, even before that, he's like, Einar, I get it. You got a good heart, dude. Don't involve yourself with this Thorfinn's right. And, don't fuck this up. You still just a Slav. And nobody gives a what a Slav has to say about this shit. So, things kind of settle down. They capture him and drag him off. And he's like, Arnade! I'm like, man, bro, it's a wrap, bro. So I'm like, what is her story, bro? So, we sit down and Einar just, he pissed. He about to go off to war, saying, like, we can sneak off and under the cover of the guys at night, we can rescue him and, try to set things right. And she's like, Einar, listen to, heed to reality. Don't go doing this. You know what I'm saying? I get that you're a good man. That might be my husband. Don't you love him? Yeah, I do love him. But given the situation, because women are survivors, they'll do what it takes to survive, and that may not be look the prettiest or whatever, but they're gonna do it because they want to live to see another day. Men are just dying in a blaze of glory. We won't be giving up because for that but to not do that would be to betray ourselves. But she's trying to live, man, and she's all right. Just settle them down. It's great. Women are great manipulators and masterminds at using their tools to their advantage. So they're weaker, the weaker of the sex. She uses the story to calm them down. So why don't I tell you my story? So it starts off, she's from Sweden, and they lived off in a far village, neither poor nor rich, but they had enough. And that's gonna come back a little bit later, but it was her and Gardar and their son, Hjalti, and they were taken care of, but there was this dispute because they discovered that there was maybe iron ore, in around this marsh area, and war broke out among the local people because everybody wanted to own this the source, which would give them power, resources, influence. So they had one the village wanted one guy in the village and several guys in the village factions wanted it for themselves. Would be a chance to have a come up, be wealthy and whatnot, and then the other side, Gardar saying the other side would use it to their advantage, and then it wouldn't be it upset the balance of power, because she's like, why y'all men gotta go off and do this? Y'all don't even need this shit. He's like, but we do need it, because things will be uneven, and we will suffer the brunt. I mean, maybe economically and all that stuff, resources around the area, which is it's not a huge populace, so they might greatly suffer. They're not gonna want to take that chance. So I'm just like, man. I mean, even then, so all the young men went off to war. So they sent everybody. I'm like, why wouldn't you leave at least a portion of the men behind? Just dumb. Even exposed. Like, this was like, she said for weeks, they were gone. And right when they left, I don't know, it was like, like clockwork. Like they almost like they got some intel or something like that. Vikings came in. They thought it was their men returning. Ransacked the place, off all the elderly, because they ain't got no use for them. Took the women, and the kids were repurposed, aka. So I was like, her son was dragged off, Hjalti, their son was dragged off, and there wasn't a goddamn thing she could do about it. And it's just like, man, it just sucks. It's painful, But she would get over it because she's gonna live, to see another day. She's mentally she's gonna be able to make that leap across that cliff. It just man, all because of men's ambition. You know what I'm saying? They wanted more. Men ain't satisfied with status quo. And it's just like, man, bro, if y'all could have just been, let them boys lose. Or one or two options. Let them lose and then deal with the consequences. Go off the war, but don't send your whole damn forces. That's gonna compromise you. You think nobody would just come in, like, just because you're in a remote area, nobody's gonna come along and discover you. And it just was a fatal flaw, man. And so it just, man, it just exposed things. And she said in the end, sometimes it's easier to ride out the storm than to go against the grain and fight for what you know is right. Just to lay down. And he's like, man, like, a storm? What do you mean? Like, she's like, even if she saw her husband, she was filled with mixed emotions. And it's like, damn, she wanted this, but at the same time, like, she's like, he is the storm. I'm sure he's been through immeasurable, unspeakable things to get back here, to try and rescue her. And, it just, he's not the same man that he used to be. And I'm sure maybe she's afraid to tell him that she lost her son. He lost him basically by putting her in that position to defend themselves when they weren't able to against men. They're always going to lose. So that being said, like, he's a part of the problem now. And it's like, also, why she feels that way? She's like, I'm gonna have, I'll have a chance to redo things now. I can protect this child. I'm like, what child the fuck you talking about? She put her hand on the stomach. He's like, man, all that nut kettle been shooting in her. And then probably, finally took root, and she's with child. And she's like, I'm gonna protect this child this time. So it shows hypergamy. Women gonna, choose the best mate. In the situation, it's not Gardar because he can't, he's a Slav. He can't protect her. But the man that came in and, and acquired her, Keto, he gets to reap, the benefits of having her now because she's with his child and she's gonna keep it. She's gonna she's like, I'm sure he'll be overjoyed. He's always wanted another one. And it just goes to show you, man. Like, it's a dirty world out here, man. And yeah, I mean, just, she was put in that situation by her man not being intelligent enough to protect her. I mean, it just is what it is. But she's gonna try to protect herself now, and by extension, her child, and not try to side. That's why she's like, I'm not gonna go out. I'm gonna let the storm just pass, and double meaning, because she's gonna let him just be executed, Gardar, as well as let the situation just go as well, and then just continue on with her life. She still love the dude, but she ain't going down with the ship. She wants a chance of being a mother again, and given the circumstances, this is her best shot. So everybody leaves or whatever, like they go out. At least Thorfinn and Einar. It's just Arnade and the old man. She's about to head out, to go see the dude. And the old GG says, what happened to letting the storm right out? So he heard everything. We saw earlier that he's listening intently. And he's like, I ain't seen now. I know what's going on. And she's like, having hesitation with all that stuff. From what he said, gave her pause. And, he's like, I had my own storm. And we found out the circumstances of why his grandkids have blonde hair and not red as it should have. There was a dude, pause. Ain't no trans woman in here at the store. There was a woman that his son was in love with, he was sweet on, and it was supposed to be his girl. A rich dude named Ebe who was growing in power in the region. He found her, laid eyes on her, wanted her. So they backed down. Basically, was like, son, I know you love this woman, but you have to let her go because this dude is stronger than us. They didn't want to go to war with him. And he was like, man, Norsemen would be ashamed of the actions we took because we ain't fight. I threw my son's dreams away. I let this young lady sacrifice herself for me. I was weak, and I regret it. And it's like, damn, bruh. Everybody got their scars in this journey called life. Nobody's perfect, and nobody has doesn't have regrets. That's just the way it is with our human journey. But we find out that somebody does take Ebe out. Actually, ironically, a rival who's jealous of his money and his resented him, but he also takes out her as well. And then Kettle, he gets the news too late. I mean, not Kettle's dad, the OGG, comes there, and she's gone. And he's like, what was it all for? So we're all like dealing with shit like that, and yeah, we're kind of left. She decides to from that she gets inspired to just kind of like, I know it's not gonna be no good. I know I shouldn't go and see him, but I'm gonna go and do it anyway. And she heads off into the distance to go to tend to his wounds, and then we're left with the preview. So the preview, the title of the next episode is Storm. He's gonna be trying to battle against his fate. He's scheduled to be offed, but there's gonna be some controversy around it. He's gonna have to encounter people that won't execute him. Fox and Snake and the crew, and then Howard, Thorfinn, and Einar are gonna weigh in on this. And that's all we have for today. But I mean, it's all good because you're not even watching though. But it's all good, like I said, because in the saga of V's, we're trying to stack V's on V's and make dubs.
Like, comment, share, subscribe if you want.
Thanks for watching. Check me out at Cintron, Cintron Anime, Cintron Life, or Cintron Laughs, or other social media.